Trader's Edge with your host, Steve Rhodes.
Good morning, all you wonderful money masters and treasure hunters out there. Welcome. I'm Steve Rhodes, host of the Trader's Edge, and it is absolutely my pleasure to be here. There is no place I'd rather be. I hope that's the same for you. Hopefully you're off to a terrific Tuesday. It is terrific Tuesday. If it's not, let's make it a terrific Tuesday, folks. And there's an easy way to do it. You know, envision what it is that you want to be able to accomplish today. Just come up with one big thing, you know, because small things, they net little results. What I want you to come up with is something big, if you will, because maybe something that, you know, is a great outcome. Just think of one thing that you could do today that would stretch your muscle because, you know, as Nico DeHaan would tell you, working out is so important. And the thing is, if you're working out, you know, if you're lifting weights or what have you, you want to make sure that whatever that last rep is, that even though, you know, your muscles are saying you can't do it, your mind is saying, yes, you can. You absolutely can, because it's in that last rep. It's when you really stretch where you're going to gain all of your strength. It's that way when you're working out. It's that way in life. You know, folks, the only thing holding you back from what it is that you want, it's the story that you're telling yourself. You want more in your life? Just change your story. You know, if you believe that you can't win this money game, or the odds are stacked against you, or somebody doesn't agree with you, or you don't have enough money, or you don't have enough time, that's your story. All you need to do in order to have all the things that you want in life is change your story. When you start changing your story, when you start putting the words right in place of the things that were stopping you, you know, remember we talked last week about the only thing really holding you back, the only constraint that you really have, the only thing that's holding you back from turning the impossible possible is that I am. It's just ourselves. We are the only thing that holds us back, and it ends up being a story. And when you wake, from the moment that you wake, folks, there are questions that control your focus. Just like in the market, you know, if we take a look at what are the questions in the market right now, what's controlling the market? Well, if you take a look at the futures, off just slightly. You got the Dow futures down about 7. The ES Mini, which is up on my screen here, you know, we'll take a look at that. I'll absolutely teach you something. But, folks, I can teach you things, but you've got to be willing to take some action. You've got to be willing to decide that where it is that you're at. Doesn't matter how great things are in your life. In fact, what I know is that successful people are the ones that are most easily able to take massive change, because what we know is we know that the extraordinary rewards are out there when you absolutely take massive change. And if you want more in your life, folks, you've got to do that. If you take a look at these markets, I want to be able to teach you things, but to teach you things and maybe to trade on paper, maybe say, you know, one day I should or one day you would, what you've got to do is you've got to say, today is the day that I must. Because the moment that you make things a must in your life, folks, whether it's, and it needs to be, you know, the show here, it's really about being able to create a financial future for you, a financial fortune. And the markets are the place to do it. I want to be able to teach you that the money game is nothing more than a series of distributions of wins and losses. You're going to have both. I can show you how to minimize your losses and maximize your rewards. That's really what it's all about. And folks, it's that way in life too. It's all about minimizing your losses in life and maximizing your rewards. Right now you got the ES Mini, as I say, that's down a couple of points. You got the NASDAQ off about 5. The Russell 2000 relatively flat, just down about a half a point. King dollar down 20 ticks right now. You got gold trading down $2 out at 17.23. Silver off at 31 cents, down at 33.40. Light sweet crude trading down 67 cents. I love that 67 because 6 plus 7 is 13. Lucky 13. That's my lucky number, folks. 877-927-6648. That's my other lucky number. Give me a call. I'd love to hear from you. Let's take a quick tour around the world. So around the world right now, actually, you got the, we'll go ahead and pull up the chart here. You got the DAX trading off 49 points. Let's see if we can, here's the DAX right here up on my screen. God, you got to love how that works. And, so you got the DAX is off 49 points. You got the FTSE down 25. Nikkei was off 11 points last night, closed out at 89.17. The Shanghai, that was down 40 points last night, and the Hang Seng down 10. Not bad to only be down 10 on a index that is traded out at 20,699. Again, 877-927-6648. And so what I've got up here on my screen is the DAX. And the DAX, you know, what we can say right now, it's really close, or maybe maybe it has completed this A to B equals C to D. The actual price point on that would be 68.30. You know, we were taking a look at this yesterday. Yesterday it got up to a high of 67.81. Let's see, in this morning's action, if you will, or today's action there, 67.88.70. Did it make just slightly higher? It did, 67.88. And where it would need, you know, if you were going to be dead balls accurate, and you don't need to be dead balls accurate in this game here, folks. All you need to do is be within a pretty good range, and this range here would say 68.30. So you're talking about, what, another maybe 50 points or so. Let's see, what kind of candle, and this candle doesn't complete for another 2.5 hours, 2 hours and 19 minutes to be exact, if you will. And let's take a look at the candle formation that we have going here. Looks like we've got a little bit of a bearish engulfing candle setting up here in the DAX. And how do we know that? Well, you take a look at the prior session. Prior session on the DAX closed out at 67.64.83. That means the opening session this morning had to be at least at 67.64.83. We go take a spin there and see what it is. 67.72.75, so just above where it closed yesterday. And now all it has to do, quite frankly, to create a bearish engulfing candle is close below where it opened yesterday. It opened at 67.52, trading out at 67.13. Trading session is not over, so you don't know what the candle's going to be until the actual session is over. Works that way on an intraday chart. These candles, these are great tools, and what you're really looking for always are clues. And the clues are when you complete a pattern, and this is pretty close. It's not, you know, we'll go take a spin around, see what other patterns might be setting up out there. You know, we had this beautiful full moon last night, or at least I hear it was beautiful. You know, had a couple of emails going back and forth between a great client of mine up in Washington, and he was telling me that it was a great full moon. Unfortunately, here in Clearwater at about 5:45, you know, the clouds were rolling in from the east. I was thinking we were going to have this beautiful sunset and this beautiful full moon to see, so I just had to use my vision. There's nothing wrong with being able to use the vision. Maybe we'll see it tonight as well. Came in yesterday at about 4:55, I believe it was, Eastern Standard Time. 877-927-6648. Let's continue to just spin around the markets here, and let's go take a look at the FTSE. FTSE trading off right now this morning, trading down at 58.66, up 26 points. No real big shakes there, and no real candle formation, if you will, that has completed in the FTSE, with the exception of a pattern completion that we have out there. So we've got the ABC within the ABC, if you will, that completed. It completed really a couple sessions ago. That is the A to B equals C to D, coming off the November 25th low. B point coming up all the way to December 7th, then backing down to probably what it looks like about a 0.618 retracement down on December 20th. Gets down to 53.28. A to B equals C to D, takes you up to 58.84. Now, you came up there with wide price spread. You did that on February the 3rd. You actually closed up at the 5900 area, 5901 to be exact. And so you came in there finishing a D point with wide price spread. When you come into a swing point, not a swing point, when you come into the completion of a pattern, it also could be a swing point, but when you come into the completion of the pattern, the D point, if you will, you come in there with a gap, or you come in there with a wide range bar. It says, caution, Will Robinson. Caution, because maybe there's a little bit more in the move. Well, where is more in the move if we take a look at the FTSE? Well, you've got another ABC out there. That ABC, you could say, goes back to October 4th. Why October 4th? We know that that was at this stage, that was a low, if you will, significant low that was put into our marketplace. It was put into the marketplace worldwide, if you will. So that A to B equals C to D completes up here in the 59.54 range. Is there another ABC out there? Absolutely. There's ABCs all over the place. You could actually, on the FTSE, go down to, let's get the tool here, you could go down to the low that was put in August 9th. We know that that was an important low in the marketplace. That was an inflection point. And, you know, where would you come up on this one? Well, really the ABC here, I would come up into the September 2nd time frame, come all the way down here to the low in October 4th. And what you can see is this made a 1 to 1.272 A to B equals C to D. That's the one that completed out here on October 28th. You could take a larger one. You absolutely could if you wanted to. But in this case here, I take a look at that ABC completed. What did it do next, if you will? But you certainly could. There's nothing wrong with it. Starting down on that August 9th area, coming all the way up to that October 27th, then all the way back down here to the low that was put in on November 25th, and that would take you up. So here are the ranges that you're dealing with. Caution is that we came up into that D point with a wide range bar. Now you're looking for some type of confirmation, if you will, that the move is over. Now, we know that when you complete an ABC, you do something else. Well, what you're looking for is a more significant pullback in the FTSE than this. Right now, all it's doing is just hanging out around its highs, and maybe to get an idea of what's going on, what you'd want to do is you'd want to go over to the currency market, right? You'd want to go over to King Dollar. Well, if we go take a look at King Dollar right now, you can see King Dollar trading out at 79 flat. How does that happen? 79 flat, folks. That is down 18 ticks. Let me go ahead and blow this up here on the screen. We blow the King Dollar up on the screen right now, and one of the things that I pointed out, I am always looking for clues. You see, that's why I call it treasure hunting, folks, because there are more treasures out here in the charts. There are more things that you could trade. There are all kinds of ways to make money. All you've got to do is be patient and continue to join us here at TFNN because we are on your side. It's all about you, folks. 877-927-6648. Got the Dow off about 8. Futures market, that is. We'll be right back.
Yeah, we'll look at them stars and we're together. Well, it's always better when we're together. Yeah, it's always better when we're together.
X-Story Gold Mines, an NYSE Amex-listed company trading under the symbol XG, is slated to be the newest gold-silver producer in Argentina. X-Story is forecast to produce more than $250 million in bullion annually, beginning in 2013, at a cash cost of less than $200 for each ounce of gold produced. That forecast will make X-Story one of the highest margin operators in South America and a sector leader in the mining industry. X-Story has $50 million in its treasury, having spent over $60 million to date on drilling and engineering. The ultimate size of its Argentina discovery could be determined by year-end, as results from the 6 drills operating at the site are fully assessed. To find out more about X-Story Gold Mines and their exciting growth potential, click on their banner on the front page of TFNN.com or check them out on the NYSE Amex under the symbol XG.
TFNN is proud to bring you the cutting edge of investment newsletters. Ken Shreve's Ultimate Growth Stocks. Ken is a top-down investor who lets price and volume in the major stock indices tell him when to be in the market and when to be out. By using his unique blend of fundamental and technical analysis, Ken will protect your hard-earned capital while realizing breakout gains. Go to TFNN.com today, click Investment Newsletters, and get Ken Shreve's Ultimate Growth Stocks free for 2 weeks.
Hi, I'm Steve Rhodes, co-host of The Money Masters with Tom O'Brien, seen daily at TFNN.com, author of Mastering Probabilities, a daily investment and trading newsletter, and teacher of the money game. Studies show that 3 out of 5 people are afraid for their life in trading these markets, and the number one reason given is fear of loss. Look, fear stands for false evidence appearing real, and the money game proves it. Lesson number 1, don't risk more than 1% of your trading capital on any trade. Why, you ask? Because 35 trades in a row where you risk 50 cents and make $1 are all you need to double your trading capital, versus the 230 losing trades in a row you would need to bring your balance to $100. Let me teach you more about the money game risk-free for 30 days. Go to the homepage of TFNN.com and click on my name, Steve Rhodes, for your 30-day risk-free trial. You were born to be a money master, and I'll teach you how.
Are you looking for a precision edge in the market? Something that can stack the odds in your favor? Then look into Larry Pesavento's new trading newsletter, Patterns, Profits, and Peace of Mind. In each weekly issue, Larry explains what's going to happen in the markets based on the pattern he sees developing and gives you actionable trade ideas based on those patterns. Plus, you'll get his detailed analysis on a variety of markets and sectors, including stocks, treasury bonds, the gold market, oil, the dollar, the forex market, and more. And you'll get the Technical Corner segment, which is a short but powerful weekly training session on trading. You'll You'll get access to all the patterns Larry is seeing in the markets, plus the Astro Harmonics and Powerful Bradley stock market model that Larry utilizes for less than $5 a day. An extremely potent combination that will give you just the edge you've been looking for. Try patterns, profits, and peace of mind absolutely free for 2 weeks. Go to tfnn.com and click on the free trial link at the top of the page. That's an $85 value, yours free when you register right now. Get Larry's patterns, profits, and peace of mind and get the edge you've been looking for.
Here's what people are saying about Tiger TV.
Let's go to John in Tampa. Hey, John, what's going on?
Hi, Tom. How are you, sir?
I'm doing great. You having a good day out there?
A wonderful day. I love your Tiger TV. I watch it every day. I'm like a kid in a candy store.
Oh, man, I appreciate you out there watching it. How long have you been watching the Tiger TV?
I'm watching almost a month now, and it's wonderful.
It's pretty cool, isn't it?
Oh, yes, it's cool. You see the charts and everything. Thanks so much for the hard work.
Tiger TV, a great news service from TFNN.com. This segment is brought to you by TFNN. Test drive all the newsletters for free at TFNN.com.
It's always better when we're together. Yeah, we'll look at them stars and we're together. Well, it's always better when we're together. Yeah, it's always better when we're together.
It absolutely is, folks. Welcome back, 877-927-6648. I believe today they're having a parade in New York. A Super Bowl parade should be a fun activity for all of you up there. Enjoy it. Great football game on Sunday. I thought just the overall Super Bowl was just really just a wonderful event. The halftime, the commercials were okay. There have been better commercials, if you will, but there were some very funny ones. And as long as it can make you smile and laugh, that's really what it's all about. These markets right now, you're looking at a flat market in the Dow, ES-mini down about 1.5. Russell just turned positive, just by a tick, if you will. And before we went to break, we were taking a look at King Dollar, or I threw that up here, and I mentioned, I'm always looking for clues. That's what really hunting for treasure is all about. And one of the clues that I noticed here, and I overlooked it, and so I was so surprised. And I talk about the candle formations. There's a couple candle formations that, I love to be aware of what's going on. It's kind of like my triptych, if you will. It's like if you went to AAA, and they were showing you all the detours or where you were going to run into problems. Well, same thing along the lines here in charting. These are, one of those candles is a hammer candle. And you've heard me talk about my hammer candle, if you will. Well, on the U.S. dollar index, you had a hammer candle that occurred on January 26th. I overlooked it until last night as I was looking at the chart, again, looking for clues, trying to understand, we're into a full moon, and my clients, know exactly what the probability percentages are between this full moon and the next new moon, and how it is we're taking a look at playing it. No certainty. The only certainty that we have is the stop that we have in place, and it's either going to be taken out at 100% or maybe it gets jumped a little bit, but that is our certainty. We know what the treasure is that we're waiting for, and we're always looking for clues along the way. Well, this hammer candle right here on the 26th, let me get rid of a couple of things on here just to clean it up, make it a little bit easier for you to be able to see, if you will. And so there we go. That's a little bit easier. Right here, this is the candle that we're looking at. I'm going to go ahead and draw a line on the bottom of it because the bottom of a hammer candle, that is your support area. Now, and a hammer candle, folks, it can only occur at the bottom of a move. Well, clearly you can see that the U.S. dollar index was moving down, and when it was moving down into this area, let me just go ahead and put that up here. Let's see if that was the 1.272 expansion of that A to D swing point. No, it was just a little bit underneath the 1-to-1, so it wasn't there. But you did have a hammer candle on the way down. Now, the hammer candle requires you to have a wick, if you will. That's what this little black line is. That is substantially larger, like about 3 to 4 times larger than the actual body that you have out here. So you've got this hammer candle. Now, real important. Why is it important? Well, think of a hammer candle as this. You're just sitting there, maybe pounding in a nail. Maybe you're just chiseling something, if you will. And then what happens, I'd like to think of you thinking of it as chiseling. And then what happens is the bears were pushing it down, in this case here, the dollar index, and you had the bulls step in, push it all the way up. Those are real important. Now, it's not unusual for those areas to be tested. In fact, you want it to be tested. Now, normally I would enter, if I'm taking a look at a trade, I would take a look at my entry position on any hammer candle halfway between the wick. And the wick, folks, I'm talking about from the lower portion of the body all the way down to the bottom. I actually do just a quick math calculation, figure out what the halfway point is there, and then boom, I would go ahead and put an advanced order in, because what I know my risk is, that's if I were going to be going long this here. I'd be looking for some other things as well. But if I were playing a hammer candle anywhere between halfway down inside the wick to below it, and what you're watching for is the confirmation that it's going to fail is a close below. Well, what did King Dollar do that next trading session? Went through it and closed below it. And look at what we're doing. You can see how it has struggled. It hasn't been able to take out the high of that hammer candle. And so what it's been doing is been sending us messages for days and days, and I didn't even pick up on it. Well, I did last night. And you can see today we are closing below that. Well, we know what's the converse of this, what's going on here with King Dollar. We'd have to go over to the euro, but you already know the euro must be trading up in order for King Dollar to be trading down. Well, let's go take a peek. I haven't looked at the euro for most of the morning, so let's go take a look at the euro, and I believe that's probably what popped up on the screen here. Give me 1 second here just to make sure, because I want that was the euro on the 120-minute chart, if you will. So let's go take there you go. It'd be nice if I pulled that over there for you. So let's take a look at that euro on the 120-minute chart, and yes, you can see here it is trading up. In this case here, what the euro wants to do is at least get up and test the high, make that 100% move of a move. You can see if we come across the screen here, you can see, we got these highs right in this area here. So in the 132 area, it's trading at 131.836. That's where the euro looks like it wants to trade to. If it does that, it'll turn these markets a little bit green. 877-927-6648. We get back, we'll go see how these markets are going to open. You got Coinstar up 19%. On the bottom, what do you have? On the bottom, you've got Kenexa Corp. That's down 10%. Colfax down 10 as well. We'll be right back, folks.
Yeah, it's always better when we're together.
In the world of financial markets, there's a new player in town with an exciting new way to trade the markets. Nadex now offers binary options as well as bull spreads in a wide range of indices, along with commodity and forex markets. With as little as $100, you can gain access to a new way to trade global financial markets while guaranteeing that your risk will always be capped. Nadex allows you to multiply your trading opportunities in ways never imagined before and access markets you once thought were out of reach. With short-term trading opportunities available, including binary options expiring each hour the market is open, Nadex allows you to take advantage of a variety of market conditions regardless of volatility or market direction. Now is the time to take advantage of this exciting new market. Don't let this trading opportunity pass you by. Open your account today by clicking on the Nadex banner on the front page of TFNN.com. Nadex, a better way to trade.
Hi folks, this is Tom O'Brien. If you want to get great trade setups in the equity as well as the option market, come over to TFNN.com and test drive my daily newsletter, Market Insights, for 2 weeks absolutely free. Each trade setup comes with a profit projection as well as stop placement. Included in Market Insights is a Twitter alert service. This allows you to take advantage of intraday setups. Volatility is back in the markets. What does that mean to you? To me, it spells short-term opportunity each and every day. The days of trending up on lighter volume are gone. We have come off the highs with volume across the globe. Don't get caught in a complacency trap. Many of the indices have given back 2 months of trading in 1 week. We have a trader's market. You can take advantage of this trader's market by test driving my daily newsletter, Market Insights, free for 2 weeks. Market Insights will give you the edge you're looking for in the markets. Go to TFNN.com under newsletter. Hit the Market Insight tab for your 2-week free test drive right here, right now.
In just December of last year, the price of gold was down over 10%. In today's highly volatile gold market, you need someone in your corner that understands the complex relationships that exist within the price of gold, as well as within a variety of gold equities. Whether it's the South African gold miners and knowing how the Rand-dollar relationship will affect their bottom line, or understanding how John Paulson's $5 billion trade in the GLD can move the market, Tom O'Brien gives you the direction you need to become become a better trader each week in his newsletter, The Gold Report, with over 20 individual equities covered and almost another 20 on the potential watch list each week, in addition to covering the XAU, HUI, GLD, and dollar. The Gold Report is a great source for any trader that is looking to be diversified in today's volatile gold market. For your 30-day free trial to Tom O'Brien's Gold Report, log on to TFNN.com today. Don't miss out on this great offer. Act now.
What type of investor are you? Conservative, moderate, or aggressive? No matter your investor personality, your overall portfolio should reflect your financial goals, time horizon, and your risk tolerance. Help ensure your portfolio is appropriately invested with an asset allocation plan from Morgan Stanley Smith Barney. Simply picking the right stocks is not enough. Research has shown that choosing the right proportion of stocks, bonds, and cash is essential to the success of your long-term investments. Morgan Stanley Smith Barney believes that a carefully selected portfolio can lower volatility and increase investment return potential. Find out about what asset allocation and the Morgan Stanley Smith Barney financial advisor can do for you. Call Angela O'Brien, First Vice President and Certified Financial Planner of the Clearwater, Florida branch at 727-441-6108 today to discuss your personal financial needs. Asset allocation does not assure a profit or protect against loss in declining financial markets. Investments and services are offered through Morgan Stanley Smith Barney, LLC. Member SIPC.
This segment is brought to you by Think or Swim. For more information, just click the Think or Swim banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
It's always better when we're together. Yeah, we'll look at them stars when we're together. Well, it's always better when we're together. Yeah, it's always better when we're together.
And we're off to the races. You got the Dow trading down 22 points right now. S&P's off 3. You got the composite down 5, small caps off 1, down 0.19. You got Apple trading up $1.86. We'll go take a look and see where Apple is going, what pattern Apple's getting ready to complete. Cisco's off 15 cents. Google down $3 right now, and leading the charge, the hot stock, if you will, up 17% right now. Coinstar, we can take a look at that. Again, leading on the way down about 9% right now. You got Conexicorp, Colfax, Fossil, FOSL, that's trading off about 2%, down $2.50. And so what I do have on the screen here, David White, he's got these, working on absolutely the art of the chart software, really cool software, in my opinion. It's one of the tools that I have in my toolbox, and I know they're working on a release date here. He sent over a email this morning, and he had this stock here that he was featuring. So it was called, the symbol is PPS, Post Properties, and looks to be forming looks like it might be forming a tiger butterfly. That's what I was trying to do when we were taking a look at the show here. Let me show you how it is that you can go ahead and set these patterns up here. So I'm going to just erase everything, if you will. And now, one of the first things that you want to do is you want to be drawing the ABCs. And it's really easy to do because, what you're really taking a look at is you're taking a look at the swing points where you see the largest change, if you will. In this case here, I would be starting right here. I'm going to start in drawing a butterfly. You just want to kind of mark, X, A, B, C, if you will. And so the swing point that I'd be looking at is July 21st. Now, when we're taking a look at an ABC, because in this case here, you can see how the market moved down from July 20th all the way to the low that put in here on October the 4th. Now, we know that that's pretty common, inside the entire marketplace. Now, what you're really looking for is maybe a Gartley pattern or a butterfly pattern. Now, what a Gartley pattern is really it's just an ABC on its way back up. In this case here, maybe you felt like, okay, this was a stock that needed to be shorted for whatever the reasons are, okay? And so what you're looking for, and you say, hey, I missed out on that opportunity, and you're looking for your next entry point. Well, your next entry point that gives you your biggest percentage, probability, if you will, is an AB equals CD that would form inside the pattern. Well, in this case here, what you can see, if your A point being October 4th and your B point being all the way up here at November the 11th, and you're looking, where's the biggest change, from the downside to the upside? In this case here, where's the biggest change from the upside to the downside? That becomes your A to B, if you will. Your C is where we know that's not going to be November 25th. We could open up almost every chart and know that November 25th is going to be a low, while we were all, working off that turkey, that pumpkin pie, maybe some of those sweet potatoes, whatever it was that we were working off, what the market was doing, the market was putting in a low. Right now at this stage, a fairly significant low, although be it on low volume, if the markets move down to that area, it'll be nothing to take out that swing point because even though it was a shortened trading day, it still was about 5 hours, I believe, of trading. And so you just simply, divide by 5, multiply times 6.5 will be no problem to take out that swing point, if you will. But let's not get carried away here. Let's talk about the ABC. So our A point being the low of October 4th on PPS, Post Properties, low there being 32.18. Our B point, again, November 1st, the high there, 42.37, comes down to November 25th. The low there is $37, 37 even. So there's our A to B equals C to D. We have to shrink our template here, if you will. Now, what you knew is your A to B, because it was such a large retracement, if you will, coming back to this July 21st, this most high swing point that we see out there, you knew that there was no way this was going to be a Gartley. The only pattern that this could be producing would be a butterfly pattern. And certainly, as we shrink this chart down here, you will see that the A to B equals C to D takes you up to 47.29. That's well above this swing point here from July 22nd. Let's just take a look at the B point. As long as you're making A, B equals C, D, you want to take a look. Did it take out the B point on volume? So I'm going to use my line tool here just simply to mark that spot, come right across. Now we're going to go down to the volume area right down here on my chart. You can see the volume that you had as you made that high on November 1st was 1.46 million shares. We'll take our line tool, come across there. Now what you can see as you came across here, you broke the B point on light volume. You did have a nice little push up here, if you will. You're already past the B. And the date I'm looking at is January 26, where you came through it with 1.3 million shares. Still not enough to truly take out that A to B equals CD. Now, 46.42 is the actual A, B equals CD. In the trading a couple of days ago, you got to 46.42. It got to 46.26, folks. That, to me, is the completion of an A to B equals C to D, off by 20 cents. You can see it's traded down a little bit slightly. Now, the other thing that you want to do, because you're looking for a range of where things might set up, because you never know exactly where a stock is going to go. That's part of the game. What you're looking for are patterns that give you a probability of success, and then the money management strategy behind it so that you can take action. What kind of action? That's right, massive action. Massive action just means only risking 1% and putting it on the trade, and I can show you how to do that. In fact, all you have to do is go over to the homepage at TFNN.com. You will see in the carousel position size calculator. You want to go sign up on that because there's a tool there that lets you know what the daily volatility of anything it is that any of the ETFs, any of the stocks that you are trading, and it's your tool to be able to use absolutely for free. I think there's a video there that will teach you how to use that tool. Also talks about the 1%, but you can also go to YouTube. You can go to YouTube and you can type in Understanding Probability, TFNN or Steve Rhodes, and you will see a 1 hour, I believe it's a 1 hour workshop that I did. It's absolutely yours for free so that you can better understand the 1% rule, how to really put that to work for yourself, because what's so amazing, it's just the power of one. That's the power of you. That's why, turning the impossible possible is just getting rid of the constraint. That's you, folks. That is the only constraint. If we take a look at the constraints here in PPS, well, you can take a look going from that high area of July 22nd down to that low in October 4th. You'll see 1.272 is at the 47.69 area. So you're looking at 46.43 to 47.69. I can't pull up the position size calculator that easy right now. Maybe I can do that, in our next break, and we can see what the actual average true range is on this. But you can see you have pretty much set up, a tiger butterfly. The actual 1.272, as I say, comes right in here at 47.69. Probably the last thing that I would do in taking a look at the ranges, if you will, it's important to take a look at that B to C area. Take a look at the expansion that exists inside there. So we'll start off with that B point being right here at November 1st, all the way down to the low on October 25th. Looks like my C point here was off. Let's draw that ABC a little bit better. Looks like I needed to work on the clarity of my glasses here. I want to make sure I give you good numbers here. I don't want to be giving you bad information. So let's come back down here. There we go. So it doesn't look like 47.29. So actually 47.20. How about that? See, when you just take a little bit of time. So this is PPS. Again, our A to B equals CDD, 47.20. You've got 47.69 is the area. That's 1.272. Now, the last thing that I'd like to do is take, again, a look at that C to D, B to C leg. Come on, Steve, get it? So that B to C, so we're looking at November 1st all the way down to the low of November 25th, trying to take a look at where's that 1.618. Well, that 1.618 expansion is right here. Just trying to see, if you can have multiple expansions and patterns that are coming together at the same time before you would take on a trade. Now, I'm not suggesting that you go ahead and short this. I would really have to take a look at this further. I'd have to see, is this thing breaking swing points on volume, if you will. But I just simply want to be able to, and really what I do is go take a look at what sector this is in, see what's going on inside that sector. I'm going to guess that because this is Post Properties, I think that's the big apartment complex, a management company that's out there. Maybe they are a part of the IYR. So you want to really see what's going on inside the sector. Well, if you're going to go ahead and short a stock, if you will, go take a look and see, is the sector completing the pattern? If it is, because the stocks will, move with the patterns that are out there, with the sectors with inside that pattern as well. And you want to, PPS likely is not part of it's not a heavily weighted stock. No, look, I don't know that because I haven't done the work on it. But when you go take a look at any of the ETFs, all you have to do, you can go over to the actual fund, whether it's the iShares, the Direction shares, any Pro shares, any shares that are out there. You can go get the updated weighting structure with inside those because you want to understand what is going on with those sectors. Just in case it's part of the IYR, I don't know if it is. Maybe somebody in the den can probably tell me. That there's a resource. Do you want to talk about what's the name of that? When you punch in something in Google, comes up with all the information. There's your information base, folks. You go to the den. In fact, you should try that out. Just come over to the homepage of tfnn.com, and you can try the den for free. So much information, so many great tools, such a great peer group, folks. So let's go take a look at the IYR just for the heck of it, just in case it's a part of the IYR. And we take a look at the IYR. Let's see what pattern. Well, we know here, at least patterns, it's really just right now testing swing points. Let's see. It looks like it has at least coming closer. Maybe it has completed an A to B equals C to D. Of course, if I asked you what date are we looking at here, you would say, hey, Steve, that's October 4th. We know that because of the low that was put in there. That's our A point. B point comes up to October 27th. Well, you could have figured that out. A to B equals C to D in the IYR. Takes you up to 62.70 as well. So that tells us there's a little bit more work to be done inside this sector. And, yep, I got Bill in New York. Thanks, Bill. Bill, are you going to the parade? I don't know if Bill is actually in New York. Maybe he's from New York. But Bill in New York inside the den says that PPS is inside the IYR, only 0.46 weighting. Simon Group, that is the number one. Bill's a Pats fan. So, Bill, we got to get that little, it's got to be Bill, a Pats fan, not Bill from New York. I guess you can be from anywhere that you want and still be a fan of whatever team it is. And so, in this case here, the IYR, folks, not to kind of get off the subject here, but it's great to carry on a conversation, even if you're not calling and we're not talking on the air on the phone. So, the IYR completes its pattern at 62.70. And what else is up at 62.70? Oh, look at this whole series of swing points. You got a swing point on May 31st, has 8 million shares up there. That swing point was tested with 8.4 million shares. Then it was tested on the July 22nd with 5.7 million shares. So you're going to want to take a look at the IYR if you were going to go ahead and you'd want to take a look at the IYR completing its pattern. That means getting into this set of swing points. Even its last swing point, the low on that on July 22nd is 62.38. If the IYR is coming into that swing point with more than 5.7 million shares, you would not take that trade on Post Properties unless that were just simply the weakest link inside the entire chain there, but you'd want to get you'd want to see what's going on with the sector because you can make more than an A to B equals C to D, but I'll bet you that we crossed the B point on IYR on lighter volume. And, when you do that, folks, what it says is it tells you where it is that you're going to likely get down to. Now, let's just see here. The October 27th high 58.18. Let's try the next one, 58.08. So 58.18, that is the number. Let's take a look at the volume that we had on October 27th. Get that tool here. So on October 27th, the volume that you had there was 13 million shares, and voila, you cross that B point on light volume. Pretty consistent out there. You know, I think when this market does correct, some of these things are going to take a little bit larger hit than you would think, because when you do fall out of bed, you know, and it's the whole reason why I decided to go ahead and, you know, push the fundamental aspect of trading, which was what I used to use. That was the only thing that I used. I didn't understand these charts. These things were foreign language. But what I want to be able to teach you is this is not a language. You don't need to be afraid of the charts. In fact, what you need to do is you need to embrace the charts. You need to immerse yourself in the charts, because this will set you free. This is a language that absolutely can be taught to you. In this case here, the IYR, if it were to come tumbling down, I can tell you that that next volume area here inside the IYR, the first thing that's going to end up being support is going to be October 27th. It's going to be that high of 56.34. But more likely, you've got this little swing point, not swing point, but you've got this, well, it is a swing point. It's a junior swing point, if you will, but you've got some high volume on November 11th, the area 56.70. That would be the area that the IYR would punch into. Let's go take a look at, right now you got the Dow is off 48 points. Let's change over to the ETF structure out here. Let's take a look at the 5-minute chart, see what kind of volume it is. You know, we've been in a market where you've basically had absolutely, positively no volume to speak with at all. If we take a look at the diamonds, we'll just go to the diamonds first. Why? No real reason. Just simply we are. And we'll take a look at the diamonds. Now you can see the volume, which is so typical of these markets. You're looking at 5 minutes to 4 o'clock yesterday, where you came in with 385,000 shares. Let's just take a look at the volume today. So you come off with a high, you come off of the top, you come off of the close from yesterday. The first 5 minutes you do 63,000 shares. On the way down, the next 5 minutes you're doing 39,000 shares. How about the next you're doing 34? And this 5-minute session right now, you're up at 70. So you do have volume picking up just slightly. Let's go take a look now a little further and see what it is that we're going into. Let me get rid of this. So we're coming into the swing point here of where the market got down to a low at 940 on the 6th. What's today? The 7th? So you're coming into yesterday. So you're coming into the swing point on yesterday on the 5-minute chart. Let's draw our line here, our line right there from the bottom. The low there is 127.68. You're trading at 127.71. Let's go look at that volume here real quick. That volume on that swing is right here. That is 80,000 shares. And you're coming into it with some decent volume. That 5-minute session is going to be over in just a minute or so. And already you're at 83,000 shares. 877-927-6648. We'll be right back.
You take a hands-on approach to managing your investments. And whether you're bullish or bearish on U.S. Treasuries, the ETFs from Direction Shares are there to help you seek to maximize your returns. Bull ETFs for a rising market and bear ETFs for a falling market. Direction Shares gives you the tools for both sides of the trade. Discover how we can help at DirectionShares.com today. An investor should consider the investment objectives, risks, charges, and expenses of the Direction Shares carefully before investing. The prospectus and summary prospectus contain this and other information about Direction Shares. To obtain a prospectus or summary prospectus, please contact Direction Shares at 800-851-0511. The prospectus or summary prospectus should be read carefully before investing. An investment in the funds is subject to risk, including the possible loss of principal. The funds are designed to be utilized only by sophisticated investors such as traders and active investors employing dynamic strategies. Investors in the fund should understand the consequences of seeking daily investment results, understand the risk of shorting, and intend to actively monitor and manage their investments. Distributor Foresight Fund Services, LLC. Would you like to discover the next great tech stock? David White, TFNN's technology guru, has just launched his new newsletter, The Technology Insider. In his newsletter, David will be looking for those shining stars that may turn into the next Apple, Microsoft, or Cisco. David combines his technology background as a software programmer with his market skills as a successful professional trader to give you this unique newsletter. We're on the verge of the next great tech run. With the Technology Insider, you'll be in front of the run-up and not lagging behind. David is developing a long-term investment portfolio. Therefore, we're only offering the Technology Insider as an annual subscription with a remarkable price of only $395. That's right, for a little over $1 a day, you'll receive the fundamental technology wisdom and technical trading skills of the Technology Insider David White. What are you waiting for? Go to the front of TFNN.com, click on the link on the front page, sign up for your 2-week free trial, and become a Technology Insider today.
Put the power of the Chapman Wave methodology to work for you. No matter what market you trade, what time frame you trade in, or your trading style, the Opening Call, Basil Chapman's daily market newsletter, is bursting with the information and trades you need to become a more successful trader.
I've been using Basil Chapman's Chapman Wave methodology for several years now. His Chapman Wave can be used for any time period for not only equities, but futures, currencies, commodities. I've been also a subscriber of his Opening Call, which I find an invaluable tool to help me analyze the potential of the market each day. He gives you opportunities to go short and long. It includes recommendations on stocks. I strongly recommend people using the Chapman Wave, and very, very strongly support the use of his Opening Call.
To find out more about Basil Chapman and his Chapman Wave methodology, and to get your 2-week free trial of the Opening Call, a $64 value, visit TFNN.com today.
At Tiger Metal Exchange, we pay you more for converting your jewelry to cash.
Let's go to Brian in New Jersey. Hey, Brian, what's going on?
Hey, Tom, just want to let you know I did give you some jewelry. My jeweler offered me about $650, but you get a check in the mail tomorrow for about $1,200.
At Tiger Metal Exchange, it's all about honesty when converting your jewelry to cash.
Okay, let's go to Paul in Florida first. Hey, Paul, what's going on?
I want to commend you on the Tiger Metal Exchange. I just did a deal with you guys the other day.
Oh, good.
And very happy.
Well, I appreciate it. Now, Did you sell us jewelry or did you buy coins off us?
I sold you jewelry.
Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome.
What we weighted at was less than you guys said, so, you're totally honest.
At Tiger Metal Exchange, we give you the tools to value your gold, and it's absolutely free. Call 866-618-8888 or log on to TigerMetalExchange.com. We've created the easiest, safest, and most honest cash for gold process. Tiger Metal Exchange. It's the only call you need to make.
Catch Tom O'Brien and Steve Rhodes as they teach you the art of mastering money when it comes to trading and investing. The Money Masters, next on TFNN.
It's always better when we're together. Yeah, we'll look at them stars when we're together. Well, it's always better when we're together. Yeah, it's always better when we're together.
It absolutely is, folks. 877-927-6648. You got the Dow trading down 53 points right now. S&P's off 6.5. Composite down 11. Small caps off 4. As you to King Dollar down 20 ticks right now. Gold trading out at 17.23. You got the DAX down 68 points right now. FTSE off 37. And when we went to break, we were just taking a look at just the 5-minute charts on some of the index ETFs that are out there. What I've got up on my screen here right now is the small caps. That is the IWM. Now, you can see that small caps are at a pretty important support level here. Why do I say that? Well, if you just simply come off of this swing point here on the 5-minute chart, coming back to the 6th, that was... when was that? What's the date? That was yesterday. Thank you. I appreciate that. So that was the 6th, if you will. So you've got a 1.272 expansion off of that swing point. The low there in the 5-minute chart came in around 10:55, 11 a.m., if you will. The high that it was going after, where you're measuring the 1.272, is going into about the 1 o'clock time frame in the afternoon. Now, what you also have here is you've got a 0.382 retracement. That is off of the, that's a normal expected area where you would come down to. And the 0.382 is off of the swing point from February the 2nd. So you can see 0.382, 1.272. You've got a couple of, Fibonacci areas, an expansion of swing points, a contraction of swing points. It's a normal area where you would expect to see an area of support. That does not mean that this is going to hold, if you will. In fact, when you came down this morning, just simply taking a look at the swing point, coming back here at about 11 o'clock yesterday, you can see that you were coming down into it with volume. At this stage, volume is kind of lightened up just a bit. If we go take a look at the, let's see here, windows, vertical. Let's take a look at the other ETF 5-minute charts out there, see what they are doing. If we take a look at the Qs, no, that's the IWM. I don't want to do that. I already did that. Let's take a look at the Qs. Let's see what we have going on inside the Qs. Inside the Qs, coming off of this swing point here at 12:15 on the 6, you did a 1.272 expansion of that. Right now on the Qs, what you've got is 0.382, retracement of coming back here to about the 3 o'clock in the afternoon on February the 2nd, just a little bit over a 0.7, under a 786 retracement, coming off the lows here at 9:45 yesterday. You did have this volume. Let's take a look at this high volume bar here right out of the chute. You had 3.5 million shares. That is a little bit of a shot across the bow, if you will. And, folks, it is a terrific Tuesday, and terrific because of the lineup that we've got. Following this show, you've got Tom and I doing the Money Masters show. Then we've got Kate Stalter going all the way out to Santa Fe, doing the small cap roundup, put a little lasso, around. Go take a look at those small caps, see how they're trading, if you will. And then we go all the way up to Chicago, I believe, or maybe we stay out on the West Coast with one of the Think or Swim guys, commercially uninterrupted. Great hour of trading options, if you will. Then on Tuesday, we go all the way out to California, and Ken Shreve is the warm-up band for the Tom O'Brien Show from 4 to 6, so absolutely you want to stick around today. Great day of programming. Let's just go quickly take a look at the, see what we have out here. That was the FTSE. Let's take a look here at the DAX, see what the Uncle DAX is doing right now. There we go. We've got the DAX, and nothing really substantial there. Again, trading down 62 points, and we do know that it looks like this is creating a bearish engulfing right at the top, real close to an A to B equals C to D. Folks, hopefully you're having a great morning, and thanks for thanks for being here. Stay tuned. Tom and I are coming up next. If not, I'll see you tomorrow morning, 9:06 promptly. Have a great day, folks.
Well, it's always better when we're together. Yeah, it's always better when we're together.
Great Basin Gold is a mining company engaged in the exploration and development of 2 emerging gold properties in Nevada and South Africa with a total resource base of more than 23 million gold ounces. Great Basin's Burnstone mine in South Africa opened in February of this year with a resource of 20 million gold ounces, becoming the first mine to open in the historic Witwatersrand Basin in the last 30 years. The Burnstone mine is projected to have a 25-year mine life and is fully financed with production anticipated to be over 200